from Southern Maryland's weather leader. This is a JB Weather Alert.
And good afternoon, everyone. I am forecaster John Bordash with you right now to give you a live weather update here. Brand new severe thunderstorm warning in effect for southern portions of Calvert County and portions of St. Mary's County here. This goes until 7 o'clock. We are looking at heavy rain, damaging winds up to 60 miles an hour, and frequent cloud to ground lightning with this storm as it continues here to push towards the east. You can see the immense amount of lightning strikes with this storm as it's moving through the Mechanicsville area, through Chaptico, down through Bushwood, moving through parts of Loveville, getting into the Leonardtown region, and beginning to move into parts of Hollywood, getting into Lesby, getting down towards Lexington Park here. And this storm will only continue to bring with it, a dangerous amount of weather as it continues here to move towards the east. Let me go ahead and give you the latest storm timing here from the National Weather Service, and I'm sure we probably won't be able to get, nope. Oh my goodness. We'll go ahead and try to get to the latest storm timing here in just 1 second. I feel like that's almost kind of common ground now. To have to go ahead and reboot the computer as we do this. But we are talking about a dangerous amount of lightning with this storm as it continues here to push towards the east. I'll go ahead and get the latest warning text updated here for you on this storm. This is a severe thunderstorm warning, again, in effect for southern parts of Calvert County and parts of St. Mary's County here until 7 o'clock. At 6:03, severe thunderstorms are located along a line extending from near Golden Beach to St. Clements Bay, moving east at 25 miles an hour. The main hazard with this is going to be 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts as well as frequent lightning. Damaging winds will cause damage to trees and large branches, and this could injure those outdoors as well as damage to homes and vehicles. Locations impacted include, but are not limited to, Lexington Park, the Chesapeake Ranch Estates, Leonardtown, Piney Point, Tall Timbers, St. Indigo's Creek, Cuckold Creek, St. Mary's City, St. George Island, Sheridan Point, Calvert Cliffs, Greenville State Park, St. Leonard Creek, St. Clements Bay, Town Creek, St. Mary's River, White Point Beach, California, Lesby, and the Patuxent River Naval Air Station. Let me go ahead and take you back on over here, get you a look at the latest storm timing here with this dangerous situation we have going on. And I see weather's reporting hail in Mechanicsville. We are continuing to see, some pretty dangerous weather. And actually, if we zoom in here, where you see this area of purple right in here near Morganza there up along 235, that would be telling me that's where we're likely looking at some of that hail right now. Let me go ahead and get the latest storm timing here for you on this storm as it continues here to push towards the east, bringing with it heavy rain, continuous lightning, hail, really anything you can think of, this storm is bringing with it. So we are pushing here over towards the east at about 25 miles an hour or so. So this is moving in towards California right around now, as well as Lesby. You're probably already seeing the crazy weather pushing on in. This is going to be moving into Lexington Park here over the next 20 minutes. The worst of it, I'm sure you're seeing rain now. But the heaviest rain, the highest winds moving in about the next 20 minutes. Valley Lee here by about 6:30, St. Mary's City by about 6:35, 6:40, on over towards Kinsale and Lewis Center there between about 6:45 and 7 o'clock as these storms continue to push here towards the east. I'm going to take a look at our latest cameras here, see if we have, if we can see anything. I'm going to come on over here. We'll see if we have anything on our camera showing up. Let's take a look over at this Leonardtown camera. Yeah, you can see where we're looking at the heavy rain right now. This is a look at Route 5 at 243 here. You can see the heavy rain. It's kind of hard to get a good picture here as these storms continue to push towards the east. Let's take a look at some of our other cameras here. Let's take a look at the Route 4 Thomas Johnson Bridge camera. Not seeing anything right now. Let me go ahead and zoom in here. Not seeing anything on that camera either. I wish we had more cameras across our region to really take a look at these storms. But yeah, right now it looks like this Leonardtown camera is going to be our best bet to see any current indications of nasty weather. You can kind of see how the camera itself is moving around a little bit. As you see frequent lightning there, you're seeing kind of those waves of rain you can see pushing there up along the up along Route 5 as we continue to see this heavy rain really pushed into the region, continuing to see dangerous weather push into the region. Let me take you back on over here towards radar. Let me bring us on over here. Yeah, let's take a look at this storm. I mean, we're still looking at so much lightning with this storm. We saw the storm pretty strong right around this strength as it moved into parts of western Charles County and knocked about 4,000 people without power. We saw it weaken just a little bit, and now it's ramping right back up. We're getting near 300 strikes of lightning with this storm alone as it moves into St. Mary's County. Really looking to bring some pretty nasty weather here, getting into Lesby, the Chesapeake Ranch Estates, on over towards Hollywood, Lexington Park, Callaway, Valley Lee. Leonardtown is really getting in on some of the worst of it. I want to see if we can't just get our local radar loaded up here. Let's get a look at some of the estimated hail size with this, and I'm going to need to turn off the lightning really quick here. And I want to turn off those lines as well so we can get a good look at this. But we are indicating hail potentially getting up near an inch near Mechanicsville. Hail getting up near 1.25 inches as we head on over towards Leonardtown, looking at hail upwards of 1 inch on over towards Lesby. We have hail getting near 1 inch, getting ready to move onshore here, moving through parts of the Potomac River here, getting near parts of St. Mary's County. If we take a look at some of the estimated winds with this storm that radar is picking up on, if I could bring up our gust potential here, really here in Leonardtown, looking at some of the worst of it over here towards Bushwood, estimating winds getting between 65 and 70 miles an hour, really kind of blasting through parts of Bushwood on over towards Avenue. Leonardtown, this is going to be really following Route 5 here as you head on over towards Callaway, Valley Lee, so please be weather aware over in these regions. And then we're looking at wind gusts up near 60 to 65 miles an hour with the northern part of this climb as it pushes through Morganza and on over towards Leadville and Hollywood, getting on over here towards Brooms Island and getting near St. Leonard and Lesby here over the next 15 minutes or so. So we will continue to watch these storms as they move eastward. They're producing plenty of heavy rain. And not only the heavy rain, but if I put the lightning back on here, we're still registering up over 200 strikes of lightning with this storm. And these warnings, in effect until 7 o'clock, incorporate the entire southern extent of Calvert County, as well as parts of St. Mary's County here, as these storms continue to really chug here towards the east. And if I show you how radar's been looking over the last hour or so, you can really see how these storms have continued to kind of hold on together as they push eastward and really kind of ramping up now with some of the highest lightning strike numbers we've seen with this storm now as it pushes into parts of St. Mary's County. Right now, SMECO is still registering around 4,200 customers without power, and I'll show you that right now. You can see the majority of those power outages are still kind of confined out here towards portions of western St. Mary's, western Charles County. Granted, we are starting to see some outages out here, not very many as we head into parts of St. Mary's County, but I wouldn't be surprised, especially down here in southern parts of, well, I guess northwestern parts of St. Mary's County, over here towards Bushwood, this area up through here between the Wycomico River and between St. Clements Bay, right? St. Clements Bay, that's what I thought. Kind of this peninsula up in here. And this is really where I would expect the potential for some power outages. That's the area we've been registering the potential for 60 to 70 mile an hour wind gusts with this storm as it continues here to push on over towards the east. So we will continue to watch this. I mean, we're really ramping up on lightning strikes here in the Leonardtown area as well as Loveville. Morganza, that's where you're likely seeing some of that hail core right now, getting into parts of going to be crossing the Patuxent River here in Brooms Island and Lesby here before too long. I really want to take a look at these traffic cameras again, see if we can get a good look at any of these storms right now. I could switch us on over here. This would be 4 at 235. Looking eastward here, so this would be 235 here. This would be Route 4 up through here. You can see kind of that eerie feeling before the rain really gets too underway here. Let's see if I can't just bring up. Let's take a look at this camera, see what we can see. Not looking at too much there. Let's head back on over towards. That would be our Great Mills camera. That would be our Leonardtown camera. Let's go ahead and bring that full size here. Yeah, you can still see where that heavy rain is really coming down here in parts of Leonardtown. It's really hard to even see to too much further down the way here because of that heavy rain. The gusty winds are kind of shaking the camera around a little bit as well. Let me bring it back over here towards radar, really showing you here where we're looking at some of the worst weather with this storm. Let me bring you on over here. Yeah, again, this is just plenty of heavy rain. Definitely looking at at least a little bit of hail with this. I'm going to take you on over towards our local radar. Let this update here. See what we're measuring right now for the potential for winds right now. I mean, there's just so much lightning here. Just like in this part of St. Mary's County alone, registering up over 200 strikes of lightning right now. That's not wanting to load, so we will just stay over here. But again, we're still watching that potential of 60 to 70 mile an hour wind gust here as we push through parts of Leonardtown. This is really going to be coming in here to southern parts of Calvert County. It's beginning to pick up over here towards that looks like about the Calvert Beach, Long Beach area on over towards White Sands. But we're really going to start to pick up on some of that heaviest rain as we push in here over the next 10 minutes or so over towards Solomon's, the Chesapeake Ranch Estates, Lexington Park, down towards Callaway. Let me take a look at velocity. I want to see if we're looking at any rotation. I wouldn't imagine we are. Not really. We're just measuring, again, those continual high wind gusts with this storm right now. Yeah, if I put this in motion here for you, give you a look at kind of how this all has kind of come together here over the last hour. I'm sure in Leonardtown, things went from a pretty normal day to just an all-out summertime downpour with lots of lightning and gusty winds over the course of 5 minutes or so. Yeah, and these storms really kind of originated back out in parts of Northern Virginia. They came into parts of Charles County. They knocked out a lot of power through parts of Nanjemoy and Welcome and Indian Head, Pittsburgh, on over towards the Port Tobacco area. They weakened a little bit as they got over towards Newburgh, but even still produced a lot of heavy rain. And now we're ramping back up with the just immense amount of lightning and heavy rain and those gusty winds really kind of coming together here. And I don't want to forget about our friends down towards the Northern Neck as well. We are still tracking heavy rain down towards this area through parts of Westmoreland County here, right through Montrose, getting near the Erica area, getting near Lyles and Kinsale over the next, probably about the next half hour or so as it continues to push eastward here. On over towards Tappahannock, we're going to be looking at some heavy rain pushing in, and we will continue to see this all kind of move eastward here over the next half hour or so, really kind of ramping things up. If I bring it on over here to this version of radar, let's take a look at the hail history with this. And we can really kind of see, let me turn off some of these layers here. Let's turn off the lightning layers while that kind of crowds things up, and we'll turn off current temperatures. Where you see this area here shaded in yellow, this would be indicative of where we've seen hail upwards of an inch or so over the last 15 minutes, really kind of focusing here just off the Bushwick through Avenue, getting into Leonardtown right now. Additional areas of hail on up here towards Mechanicsville where you get those brighter colors. And we're seeing it down towards Colonial Beach as well, on over towards, beginning on over towards Lesby. And yeah, I mean, these are just some pretty nasty storms here. We're looking at rain behind it, nothing nearly as bad as what you were seeing on over towards Indian Head or La Plata. But we are looking at rain filtering in behind this, so it really will just kind of be this line as it pushes through. Then you'll see some residual rain kind of kick in before it really moves out. Later on this evening, we should begin to clear up here by about 8, 9, 10 o'clock or so. But we will continue to watch this potential for heavy rain move through the region. Rainfall totals estimated over the last hour or so. I mean, really kind of peaking here over Cobb Island. This pink color here, or the stark purple color here, would be indicative of over 2 inches of rain potentially. Getting near an inch up here near the Chaptica region. Mechanicsville registering up near an inch or so of rain as well. So these storms are putting down lots of rain. They're putting down some pretty decent hail cores as well as they continue to move towards the east. And so let me take you back on over here towards, our traffic camera, see what we're looking at here. This Leonardtown camera really seems to be the only one that's kind of showing these storms right now, but you can see where we're looking at, I mean, very low visibility because of that heavy rain that just continues to fall in sheets here as it continues to move towards the east. Let's take a look at some of our other cameras, see if they're able to show us anything. Let's let's take a look at 4 at 235 east. Oh yeah, you can see, yeah, this camera's rocking all types of back and forth out here. Let's look at 4 east, so this would be 235 here, 3 Notch Road. This is Route 4 on over here. Yeah, you can see where we're looking at that heavy rain and those gusty winds. You can kind of see almost where that rain is moving in sheets. It's falling in sheets, and that heavy rain are the gusty winds there, and you can see very low visibility. Even looking at a little bit of ponding issues over here in the intersection, and plenty of lightning. We're seeing that right now too as this continues really just to fall across the region. Yeah, some pretty dangerous storms, and I think this should go without saying, but if you come across a flooded roadway, just turn around. You don't want to try risking that. You really never know how deep the water is. You might have an idea, oh, I know that this storm drain typically only backs at maybe an inch or two of water, but it does not take much to cause some issues. And even if you're not going to have your vehicle stranded, it doesn't take much to begin to see hydroplaning issues with some of these cars. So do stay weather aware. These are some of the latest images we have coming in right now out of parts of St. Mary's County. I want to see if we can just take a look on over here. Let's switch gears a little bit, see if we can bring that up. This is the same camera, I think. But yeah, we're just going to continue to watch for this potential right now. Let me bring it back on over here towards radar, see how things continue to kind of develop here as storms really kind of come together, really pushing through parts of Leonardtown right now, really beginning to ramp up on over towards Lesbian Solomons, getting on over towards Lexington Park, Valley Lee Park Hall over the next little bit. We will continue to watch this potential as these storms continue to push eastward here. They're really coming down with a decent amount of lightning as well. I mean, we're registering up over 250 strikes of lightning here in parts of St. Mary's County as these continue to move eastward. As we really just put this into motion here over the last little bit, we're still seeing these storms push eastward, and they're really beginning to put down a decent amount of rain, probably looking at some flooding issues, I'd imagine, in parts of northern and western parts of St. Mary's County, really from about Mechanicsville down towards Avenue or so. So do stay weather aware. I mean, these are going to continue to be some dangerous storms. We're not really talking about a tornado potential today, which is good news, but we are talking about just these severe thunderstorms continuing to produce a decent amount of nasty weather. These should begin to clear up here over the next hour to 2 hours as these continue to push eastward. We'll see some residual heavy rain push in back behind these storms, but then we have clearing moving in behind it. And this all comes as a weak cold front begins to push through the region. We're not really going to cool things down too much behind this. This is really just going to help to kick off these storms today. We still have some pretty warm temperatures on tap for tomorrow and Friday, and then the weekend is still looking kind of wet with the potential of storms in the afternoon, kind of like what we're seeing today as we head into Saturday and again on Sunday. But temperatures by Sunday do begin to respond to these cold fronts moving through, and we begin to see things kind of cool down a little bit. Let's see if we have any new updates here from the National Weather Service on these severe thunderstorms. Let's see, this was updated around 6:19. Severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 7 o'clock for St. Mary's and southern Calvert counties. At 6:19, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from St. Leonard to Montrose, moving east at 25 miles an hour. The main hazard here, according to the National Weather Service, is 60 mile an hour wind gusts, but we are noting plenty of lightning with these storms. We are noting we're also noting some hail as well. Damaging winds will cause some trees and large branches to fall. This could enter those outdoors as well as damage homes and vehicles. Roadways may become blocked by downed trees. Localized power outages are possible with these storms as well. And unsecure light objects may become projectiles, according to the National Weather Service. Locations impacted include but are not limited to Lexington Park, the Chesapeake Ranch Estates, Leonardtown, Piney Point, Tall Timber, St. Indigo's Creek, Cuckold Creek, St. Mary's City, St. George Island, Sheridan Point, Calvert Cliffs, Greenwell State Park, St. Leonard Creek, St. Clements Bay, Town Creek, St. Mary's River, White Point Beach, California, Lesbian, and the Patuxent River Naval Air Station. Let's see if we can't just get a storm track loaded up here, and I have a feeling it's not going to want to work. Nope. People who were surprised, I'm not a part of that group, but we're going to continue to watch as these storms move eastward, and we're really going to see how everything kind of ramps up here. You're probably going to be getting in on some of the worst in Lesby here and down towards Solomons over the next 10 to 15 minutes. One of the more electrified parts of this storm is now crossing the Patuxent River, moving into Brooms Island, into St. Leonard, and then we'll be gradually getting into Lesbia on over towards the Chesapeake, Grand Estates, Cove Point, Drum Point, all of those areas here over the next hour, or over the next 10 to 15 minutes or so. But we are still continuing to look at very heavy rain right here in the Leonardtown region, and we're going to continue to watch this move into California on over towards Lexington Park, Callaway, Valley Lee, Park Hall, and St. Mary City. I do want to see if we have any updated power outage numbers. So give me 1 second while I get that loaded up. Oh, wow. Actually, what I want to do is come over here and show you this traffic camera quick. This will be 4 at 2:35. You could just see really like those waves, those sheets of rain really coming through here, really kind of moving around those traffic lights as well. That heavy rain, those gusty winds, really what we've been talking about. And I'm sure if we stay on here long enough, I'm sure we're going to see that lightning as well that continues to kind of move through parts of the region. And this is really going to continue to be the main story here. This is a scene we've seen play out throughout Southern Maryland this afternoon and evening, and I think this will continue for some of us for the next hour or so. These storms will probably bring some nasty weather for where you are for about half an hour to 45 minutes, and then we'll begin to move out. But we probably won't be able to clear this line through southern parts of St. Mary's County here, so probably close to 7 to 7:30. But we're really looking at everything really kind of coming together here, really moving the camera around a whole bunch. And I mean, just those sheets of rain continue to show where we're looking at some of the nastiest weather with this storm. But we're still talking about the severe thunderstorm warning here in effect until 7 o'clock. I'm going to take a look at those outages again as I come back over here to SMECO. No real big updates. I mean, we do currently have an outage affecting 50 people towards portions of Compton, and maybe a couple of people without power down towards Colton's Point on over towards Avenue, but not looking at too much at the moment. I want to see if we can't just get some of these traffic cameras loaded back up again. I want to take a look at the Thomas Johnson Bridge at Route 4 camera, see what that's showing right now. And what we're looking at here, I mean, you can see those gusty winds really pushing those trees all around. You can't really even see the other side of the bridge here. This is looking from the St. Mary's County side. All of that heavy rain, those gusty winds, and I would be surprised if we don't see a little bit of lightning here on this camera. So do take it easy as these continue. As these storms do continue to push eastward here, continuing to bring some pretty nasty weather throughout our entire coverage zone. Coming back on over here towards radar, taking a look at the latest information, and I actually want to show you where radar's picking up on some of the heaviest rain at the moment, so we need to switch programs here. Let me go ahead and let this reboot. But radar, where we see some of these brightest colors here, this is indicative of where we're looking at some of the heaviest rain. Radar is really picking up on over 2 inches of rain down here, potentially down towards parts of southern Charles County that fell from the storm in Cobb Island that moved over here towards Avenue. We're not looking at too much hail at the moment. Where we see these blue colors, that would tell us where we have the potential for maybe up to a 1/4 inch of hail, maybe up to 1/2 inch of hail here near Leonardtown on over towards California and Brooms Island as well. But these storms really do just continue to be heavy rain and heavy rainmakers, as well as plenty of lightning as well. But if I were to show you the grand scheme of things, as we let maybe not. While we let that load up, what I can do is, as I just zoom out here, you can see behind what we are pushing through right now, this really is one of the only games in town. Back towards the west, there is not much going on. I'm not too worried about what's trying to form out here towards the rain. But just kind of showing you as a grand scheme here. Outside of this line, we're not looking at much else, so we should have a pretty quiet night tonight across our region. And if I show you on over here towards the latest SMECO update, which we just got in, you can see we're looking now at over 6,000 customers without power. One of the biggest outages out here towards Leonardtown, upwards of 700 customers without power down towards Callaway and Point Lookout Road, over 600 customers without power. We're looking at Another outage over here towards Compton here near St. Clements Bay, over 100 customers without power. And we're still looking at all those outages back out here towards western portions of Charles County over the last little bit. So if we kind of show you by, not by that way, that we change this by zip code here. This gives you a good idea. And where we're looking at some of the highest outage numbers here. Really kind of, if I could stop zooming so much, I can show you. Over here towards Leonardtown is one of the Leonardtown on over towards Nanjing and Indy had continued to be some of the areas seeing some of the worst weather. So I will go ahead and get that posted quickly on our Facebook and Twitter pages. But yeah, really behind this line, we are not looking at much else going on across our region. What I do want to do quickly while I get that updated, and see if we have any updated look from our traffic cameras before I do that. And yeah, you can really kind of see here, a look over here towards California. Yeah, there's that lightning going on. There's that heavy rain continuing. I mean, this has been going on at this one location here for the last 15, 20 minutes or so as we continue to see the heavy rain really push in towards our region. But let me go ahead and get this posted here, so that would induce some time of where I'm not talking all that much. My apologies. Well, that's kind of how we run things here as a one-man show. And let me actually, while I do that, kind of zoom radar in here, let you take a live local look. And you're really seeing some of the highest amounts of lightning over here towards parts of Calvert County right now. All right, so let me go ahead and get that posted up on Facebook, get that posted up over on Twitter, and I think we had some video coming in on the Twitter page. And we do, well, it's not showing up here. We do have a report of a water spout from back around 6:08. I saw a couple of comments come in, but I try to be wary before I start saying the word water spout. But this was about 20 minutes ago, potentially, lower parts of the Potomac River. I always get very kind of wary about these kinds of reports because you never really know who's reporting them. But that report has come in right now, so we'll see kind of what that potential looks like. But we're not really talking about that tornado potential across our region. That report came in from right around this area down here, just south of Leonardtown. Again, I don't want to say I'm not too convinced of that, but we've had a couple of comments about that, so I'm not going to totally discredit it. But again, I do try to use a little bit of filter with that, before you start talking about those storm reports coming in too crazy. What I do want to do is kind of update our traffic camera situation, see what we're looking at across our region. What I want to do is bring up this one camera I don't seem to have a bookmarked tab for. Yeah, I see Jamie saying the lightning's pretty bad. Lots of lightning and thunder in California right now from Scott. Stephanie, this is so bad. I love the deep thought there. Thank you for that report. I'm with you in California. I have a lot of very tall trees in my backyard that are just swaying back and forth. James said it'd be nice if it cooled down big time tomorrow. Unfortunately, that will not be the case for many of us. I want to see if I can't just get those traffic cameras loaded back up here. Let me try to find that link. Give me 1 second while I get that loaded up. Here we go. This is what I was looking for. Let me take you on over here. Yeah, again, this is a look at 235 with 4. As we take a look here, so this will be 235 right through here, 3-notch road. This will be Route 4 kind of at that intersection. You can still see, we're talking the heavy rain. We're still talking about those gusty winds moving through with a decent amount of ponding going on there in the intersection. You can see as these cars kind of move through here. We're going to continue to watch this, as this moves into... Here he's like Lesby on over towards Solomon's. And actually, I'm sure if I could bring up the Thomas Johnson Bridge camera, I'm sure we'd probably be able to see a pretty gnarly scene out that way. Let me bring you on over back here. So again, this would be the Thomas Johnson Bridge. This over here is the St. Mary's County side. So this is going towards Calvert County. You can see just the crazy amount of wind here. It's moving the camera a little bit. You can see these big trees out here near Town Creek kind of moving all around. On a normal clear day, you can see the other side of the bridge here in Calvert County. You're not seeing that right now. You can't even really see the crust of the bridge here because the heavy rain is just so blinding here. So do take it easy, especially if you're going to be traveling over bridges like this one. As you see that lightning, especially those tall poles there in the middle of the bridge, that could really be an attractor for lightning. So do just take it easy and be safe if you have to travel across these area bridges. If you have any interest in traveling in this part of our coverage zone over the next 10 minutes or so, I'd probably hold off a little bit. These storms are not really going to be playing too nice. See, Chelsea's saying couldn't pay me to be on that bridge. Chelsea, I grew up in Lesby and Solomon's, and you couldn't pay me to take that bridge normally. My family makes fun of me for that because I don't like driving across that. I can do the Bay Bridge just right. It's just something about this bridge I'm not a fan of. And yeah, I could not. I mean, you could just see. I mean, I think we just saw bolt of lightning there, probably kind of connecting there in the middle part of the Thomas Johnson Bridge. And I think this is probably a little bit more powerful for you to see opposed to just radar, because this is actually, I mean, you can see the colors on radar, but this is actually a look inside this inside of the storm as it continues to move in. So down towards Valley Lee, down towards Callaway, down towards St. Mary City. This is what you have in stock for you as these storms continue to push through the region. We're really looking at some of the worst weather right now from about St. Leonard down Route 4, down towards Solomon's, and then impacting parts of Leonardtown, Lexington Park, California, Great Mills. Really that area right now. And we're really going to see, some of the craziest weather in this region over the next little bit. See, Teresa's saying it's just sprinkling in Prince Frederick now, and that really kind of tells you the difference here across our counties. I mean, the drive from Solomon's up to Prince Frederick's, maybe 25 minutes or so, half an hour, depending on how fast you're going. And we're just talking about such a stark contrast in our weather. Let me see if I get to some of the questions. Crystal's saying the wind came up fast, and St. Indigo's, how long is it supposed to last? As the storms move through, you'll probably see nasty weather for about half an hour to 45 minutes before you start to see some clearing. Catherine can't see out of the window. What is the tornado chance? Catherine, that tornado chance is very low today. We don't really have very good atmospheric dynamics across our region to support that. We did have a report of a water spout over parts of the Potomac River near Leonardtown. But again, I'm very, very wary about that. I mean, that's the only report we've had thus far, and I didn't see too much confirmation of that with radar. So, I mean, take that with a bucket of salt. But we are going to talk about a pretty low tornado potential today. It's really just heavy rain and gusty winds with this. Let's see. Throwing its ass off in California. Thank you, Kindle, for that. How St. Leonard, Ryan wants to know. We don't have any cameras on up towards that part of our coverage zone, unfortunately. But as we take a look at radar here, St. Leonard, you're kind of on the northern fringe of this. This is really from about White Sands Point south. And some of the worst weather probably, I mean, it's right here where you get these red colors from about the Lesby, Chesapeake Ranch Estates down across Route 4 here into Callaway, kind of following Route 4 here. And I mean, St. Mary City now, you're getting in on some of that nasty weather. We're seeing the heavy rain go across the Potomac here into parts of Westmoreland County here into Erica, down here towards Lyles, getting near Acorn. And this will be moving on over towards the Warsaw area. And I believe this is Richmond County here, seeing some of that nasty weather. This will be moving on over towards Northumberland County and down towards Lancaster County over the next hour or so. But you can just see the immense amount of lightning strikes with this storm really kind of focused here across parts of St. Mary's County right now. So you can see winds, rain, thunder, and lightning at Solomon's right now. Thank you. I do appreciate the storm reports. Let's see. Sitting at Great Mills High School, waiting for my daughter to be out of practice. Had to move to the back of the school, hoping to deflect some of that wind from shaking my car. Yeah, I'm sure. Down there towards Great Mills. I'm sure you're seeing some nasty weather right now. Let's see if we can't just bring up that Great Mills Road. Oh, yeah. This is a great scene to show. Let me bring it back over here. This is a look on over towards Great Mills Road at Route 5 here. You could just see blinding rain really moving into this region now. I just saw a nice flash of lightning in here, so we'll see if we can't just get another one of those flashes right now. As these storms continue to push through, we're now really kind of transitioning that heavy rain threat from areas up north near Mechanicsville, really transitioning down now towards Great Mills, on over towards the Patuxent River Naval Air Station, down towards parts of Solomon's as well. And that other thing, it just got crazy on St. George Island there and parts of the Potomac River in St. Mary's County. Getting pounded in tall timbers there right near Piney Point. Sky was bright green as it moved in, waves cresting over the rocks and large swells. Oof, that was another flash of lightning. Yeah, so we're talking. I mean, This is what you get when you have 2 to 3 days of days in the 90s and high humidity and an untapped storm potential. We haven't seen much activity in our region the last couple of days, and these storms, as they push in now that they've had a forcing mechanism to really kick them off, they're now tapping into all that atmospheric energy, and this would be the result of that. Let's take it back on over here towards radar, continuing to track this dangerous storm as it pushes here to the south and east. This storm right now is located. The worst of it is located right over Solomon's, then down towards Lexington Park, Callaway, Valley Lee. Let me take radar here full as I kind of zoom in here for you as we track it. Valley Lee, Piney Point, down towards Tall Timbers, St. Mary's River. I mean, that's going to be another area. We're talking about some of the worst. Let me see if I can't take us over towards our live local radar. This has been acting a little finicky today at Ball Days 4-2. Okay, so that would be winds. Can we bring up radar? Yeah. So you can really see where some of that worst weather is right here up along Route 4, St. Andrews Church Road here from right around Town Creek down through California, taking you right there in the Leonardtown Point south. So down towards Callaway, Valley Lee, St. Mary City, Hermanville, Park Hall, Lexington Park, Great Mills, all of these areas. Going to be seeing some nasty weather here over the next little bit. Amanda saying Drayton is having major winds and the lightning and thunder just started up. Yeah, I would believe that down there toward parts of St. Mary's County there. Let's see, where else can you get local weather? Hey James, I love the plug there. He was responding to Chelsea's comment. What did Chelsea say? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't love me, right? Yeah, I grew up in Southern Maryland, and I lived there for 20 years, and not once have I heard the people in the news ever refer to St. Mary City or St. Indigo's with any type of accuracy. Pretty wicked near Chancellor's Run Park. Let's see, Crystal saying lightning struck right above my van in Mechanicsville about 25 minutes ago, the gas station. I would believe that would cause, that would freak me out a little bit, and I'm someone who enjoys looking at lightning. So, let's see, I got plenty of questions today about people wanting to know, should we go out and water in our garden? Are these storms actually going to happen? And it's always when I promise that storms will happen, they don't. How many times have we seen those lines on towards Virginia that look so potent to move through with heavy rain just fall apart? But I'm happy that we're able to get some rain in here. I'm not happy that we've seen it to the degree that we've seen it across our region. Chelsea, if it ain't JB, it ain't right. Try telling that to people I know. Trust me. Yeah, let me take you back on over here towards our traffic cameras here. Let me take a look at a nice live local look across our region. And while we're here, do take a look at all of our sponsors over there. You can see them on the I believe that would be the right portion of your screen. Yeah, I mean, all very great companies that allow me to do this as an actual job, not just a hobby. Let me take you back on over here to our cameras. So let's take a look at this Route 5 camera at Great Mills Road if we want to enlarge. Yeah, you can see, I mean, as these cars drive off in the distance here along Route 5, they're just kind of disappearing because the rain's so heavy. But it isn't looking as bad as it was just a little bit ago. But you can see where we still have some of those ponding issues. Let's take a look over towards Lexington Park here, Chancellor's Run Road. Yeah, you can see where we're still looking at some ponding here in the intersection. But it isn't looking as bad as it was just a little bit ago, which is good news. But you can still see, I mean, it's still raining clearly across parts of our region. So yeah, the worst of it right now, moving into southern parts of St. Mary's County. And as I say that, we just got a new warning in. This is not low, so this is going to be for parts of the eastern shore. So this is going to be a new severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Northumberland County, Richmond County, Westmoreland County, and Essex County. And you see that pop up just now. So let me go ahead and get this posted up for our Northern Neck followers. And the National Weather Service in Wakefield, Virginia, is denoting the potential for a tornado with this storm along the Northern Neck. I wouldn't be worried about that in St. Mary's County. I do know we tend to look at these areas for our weather as it moves through. I want to see where they're looking at potential rotation. And yeah, I can maybe see where maybe we see a little bit of that right in here, just north of Kinsale here along parts of Westmoreland County. In that general region is where we could be looking at that. But let me go ahead and get that warning posted up for our followers on over towards the eastern shore who are looking for some weather coverage, some love as well. Don't want to leave anyone out, especially, the Northern Neck people know as much as anyone that they do not get weather coverage a whole lot. And try my best to kind of include them the best I can. Let me go ahead and get this posted up. And yeah, so this is a severe thunderstorm warning for the Northern Neck until 7:30. Let me go ahead and edit that. Let me take us back over towards radar while I get that posting, put this in motion here over the last little bit. Yeah, plenty of lightning. It looks like right over the Chesapeake Ranch Estates, right over Solomon's, Lexington Park, all of that area right now. It's kind of seeing some of the worst weather. Let's see. Minis of 30 miles an hour. Frequent lightning. Heavy rain. 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail. Let's just change that to the Northern. All right, let's get that posted. Let's go ahead on over here towards Twitter and update that. Then we'll take, if you want to take an update, a look at our power outage potential across our region. Go ahead and tweet that. Let me take an update, a look here. It looks like our numbers are beginning to come down a little bit across our region. Let's come back over here. Where you see these areas here shaded in blue, those zip code areas, that would be between 500 and 2,000 customers without power. If we do it by location, it looks like I'm sure that we've taken care of that. Some of the Indian Head outage. We still have some outages out here in Charles County, but now we're ramping up outages out here in parts of central St. Mary's County. So we're looking at Callaway. We're looking at over here towards Leonardtown, the California area, 50 people without power, about 74 on over towards Town Creek. Looks like about, 51 customers without power as we head over towards Sandgates. And then still looking at just about 106 people without power as we head on over towards the Compton area. Yeah, Lenore's saying crazy on over towards the ranch. Let me go ahead and take us back over here towards our camera. So I want to take a look at that Thomas Johnson Bridge camera, see what that's showing right now. Yeah, I mean, I don't see the trees moving around nearly as much, but I'm sure we're still seeing some. Yeah, I just saw some lightning on over that way. Look at Chancellor's Run, not too much right now. Let's take a look at Great Mills Road here. See, let that load up. Let's see, was that for the storm? Was that for the storms, or are there more coming to St. Mary's, more so Mechanicsville, Charlotte Hall area? Chris, so you're all good. I think over towards Mechanicsville, you're probably still going to be looking at some residual rain, but you're probably not looking at any additional storms over there. Yeah, so if I take you back on over here towards radar, that latest severe thunderstorm warning is for the northern neck, as these storms really are now beginning to move a little bit more southeast. So these storms, not too worried about them moving north or moving back towards our region. They're really going to move down here towards Heathsville, Louisetta. We're looking at a lot of lightning, up over 100 strikes here just in parts of Lesby and parts of the Lexington Park area over there towards Pax River. Let's see, is this the latest? Yeah, so the National Weather Service just updated this warning. Yeah, let's give you the latest. The severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect till 7 o'clock for southeastern St. Mary's County and southern Cabot counties. 6:48, severe thunderstorms are located along a line extending from near the Chesapeake Ranch Estates to near Haynesville, not too sure where that is, moving east at 25 miles an hour. The main hazard is 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, but we know that we're looking at a lot of lightning as well. So let me go ahead. Let's see what their latest storm track information has on this. So they kind of have it right up along this area. So yeah, this gives you an idea of storm timing here. I mean, St. Mary's City, you're seeing some of the worst of it right now. I don't know about 716, but this gives you an idea where this storm is moving here, really moving into the Scotland area here over the next little bit. Actually, what I want to do is put on one of my own tracks here because that looks to be a little bit old. And if we track this down here, about 20 miles an hour. I mean, moving into Scotland here, really in the next 5-10 minutes or so, moving down towards Louisetta and Heathsville here over the next 10 to 15 minutes. So we do continue to watch this line. It is a dangerous line. It is producing plenty of heavy rain. We've seen hail with this. We've seen gusty winds. Particularly on over here, I want to take a look at the potential for winds with this storm. Let's see. Joseph is shaking my house in the Ranch Club. I mean, look at all this lightning up here. I mean, right here in parts of southern Calvert County down towards Solomons. That's where you're really seeing some of the worst weather. And, of course, that doesn't really want to work. But, yeah, you can really see where some of that worst weather is. But it is beginning to lessen. Back over towards Morganza, on over towards Newburgh. You really see where we kind of have the core part of this line. If I switch radars here, this really shows you. We have these storms right now, but as we zoom out, there's not much going on back behind these. I mean, there's some storms well north and west. I'm not too worried about those coming towards our region. But one thing I do want to show you would be the satellite imagery here. And that really, I think, will tell the story of kind of how these storms have popped up. This version of satellite measures how cold the cloud tops are. So this is going to sound really kind of backwards, but the brightest colors indicate colder cloud tops, which indicates stronger thunderstorms. And you can see as these storms developed, again, this is infrared imagery, version of our satellite, taking a look at how tall the thunderstorms are. They really just kind of blossomed over our region as they continue to move eastward. But we will watch as these storms will begin to pose a threat down here towards Smith Island, Tanger Island, and the parts of the northern neck as well, down towards Louisetta, Heathsville, Lyles, the Tappahannock area, Warsaw, Acorn, Arica as well. Yeah, Joseph, I'd probably wait to cook dinner as well, Kevin. These storms. Yeah, and Crystal says her mom says that the power is out in Hollywood. I would believe that. But it does look like the worst of the storm right in here. We get some of these like purple readings. That's indicative of a little bit of hail. That's not moved out over the bay, which is good news. So you should begin to see things begin to lighten up a little bit. Things begin to improve in Lesby and Lexington Park. You're probably still ramping on up on over towards Tall Timber, southern parts of St. Mary's County here. And we're going to stay with this warning for the next 4 minutes. That's when this severe thunderstorm warning is slated to expire. Just already again, Peck's River outside of Prince Frederick, so probably over there towards the Benedict Bridge, I'd imagine. Margie, yeah, I mean, we're looking at residual areas of rain back here that still have to move on through. Julie wants to know if there was a water spout spotted in Leonardtown. We did get a report of someone. We did get a report of someone sighting a water spout on over the open bay just south of Leonardtown. But I really get wary about that because anyone can report anything. I mean, so if I saw additional reports to confirm that, I would probably be a little bit more wary to give it some credit. I didn't really see a nice rotation coupled on radar with that. I mean, that's our only report, and we don't have any indications of tornadic-like damage in our region. Maybe some wind damage from straight-line winds, but nothing from that. So if I see additional reports, we might give that a little bit more credit. But I will say we did get one of those reports in right around 6 o'clock or so. But yeah, we're really looking at some of the worst of this weather now pushing into southern parts of St. Mary's County. So, I mean, if we zoom in here, it's really Piney Point, Tall Timbers, that region down towards Dameron, right here along the St. Mary's River, really producing some of the worst weather with this storm. And you're still seeing lightning down here as well. Scotland, you're getting ready to get in on some of this weather, as well as Park Hall. You're in some of the worst right now. But we will begin to clear up here over the next little bit. See if we have any new updates here from the National Weather Service. See if this warning is still indeed an active one. Give me 1 second while I check on that. It is still active for the moment, so we'll see how that evolves. Let me take a look on over towards our SMECO power outages at the moment. SMECO is still reporting around 4,800 customers without power. Really right now kind of focused on the Leonardtown region as we stand at the moment. Yeah, the lightning is, the lightning, I mean, that's some of the worst. I mean, especially, the worst of the lightning right now is kind of centered here over parts of the Middle Bay. So just off of like Cove Point, Drum Point, just off of Pax River, that's really where you're kind of seeing a spike in the increased amount of lightning, which is, I mean, just in this one pocket here, over 100 strikes of lightning in the last 20 minutes. Thank you for the kind comment, Natalie and Nancy. Thank you. Yeah, beginning to calm down in California. Yes, we see, I mean, you're going to see some additional rain moving behind this, but the worst of this is really just with this line as it pushes through here. But it is gradually beginning to weaken a little bit as we begin to lose some of that daytime heating here. So, I mean, Scotland, you're still going to be seeing some decent weather on over towards Dameron, St. Mary's City. But you're not going to see, I mean, the worst of it is kind of to your north and then down to your south there as this continues to move on through. No power on over towards Town Creek. Our Amelia Draper reported that washout was seen by a train spotter. Yeah, I mean, and I still kind of take that with a little bit of caution. I mean, I see some of the people that are train spotters, and that makes me it makes me at least use a little bit of a filter, you know. If I start to see a couple of additional reports, then we'll talk about it. But all I'll say at the moment is that we did have a report of a water spout on over towards the Potomac River. Let's see, winds picking up, thunder and lightning and Ridge getting worse. Yeah, I mean, down here towards Ridge, down near the Scotland area, you kind of have the core of the storm beginning to move south. And it looks like our severe thunderstorm warning has indeed allowed to expire. We have no new warning in effect right now. down towards Scotland and Ridge, you're going to begin to clear up here probably by about 7:15, 7:30. So we're going to go ahead and wrap things up now. We're going on just about an hour or so, and I've been here all afternoon, and I'm ready to go eat some dinner. So thank you so much for joining us, joining me over the last several hours as we continue to track these storms. We do still have several power outages across the area as these storms move through. And yeah, these definitely were some dangerous storms, and it was a very active day. So yeah, it's been a long day here, and I'm beginning to kind of combine all my words into one. Let's see. And wind with this one was not as bad as the storm on July 1st until timbers had a rotation and did damage. Waiting for this to do the same, yeah. But yeah, that is just about everything I have for you. So stay tuned. I'll have a 7-day forecast up probably by about 8 o'clock this evening. No forecast video tonight. I'm not at any time to put that together. But stay tuned. I'm forecaster John Bordash. Thank you so much for joining me for this live local coverage to keep you one step ahead of these dangerous storms. And stay with us here at JB Weather for the latest information. But have a nice and safe one. Keep it tuned right here to JB Weather, and I continue to keep you updated on the forecast.
Check the forecast anytime online at jbweather.net.